So today I'm going to be having a look at the Rasbora Aquarium just here. So sort of long-term viewers of the channel might realise that this tank has recently moved. So this was in the other room and it was in front of a window and I wasn't massively keen on it being there. So I thought I'd move it into this room and I think it looks a lot better here. So this is my Rasbora Aquarium. I think, I'm not too sure now, but this may have been set up for about 6 months now, maybe 8 months, something like that. And at the moment it's just home to my Harlequin Rasboras, and I've got some rummy-nosed tetras, an absolute ton of ramshorn snails, and some blue cherry shrimp. So during the sort of process of moving this tank, by the way, this tank is actually a low-tech tank, although to look at it, it might look like it's high-tech. So we've made a few changes recently. So when I moved into this room, I've taken the black background off. So we've now got this sort of nice open view to it. Now the wall behind is grey, so that gives a much sort of slicker feel, I think, to the tank. But as we were going through sort of moving things around, there was a few things I wasn't overly keen on and sort of were looking a bit tired. So in this corner over here, there was some Alternathera rennici pink, which was struggling a little bit, and to be honest has been struggling for quite a while. Now I think it might be that the light's not strong enough, or maybe I'm not putting enough nutrients in there, but I've taken it out basically. So we've now got this area on the back here where there's quite a lot of room there. Now I want to put, got an idea about what I want to put there. So I've got some red plants in one of my other tanks, which I want to give a nice pop of colour in this back corner. And you may notice here I've got 2 new pots of plants. So this one here is Lobelia cardinalis, so that's a mid-ground plant. And this one is Hydrocotyle tripetita, or Hydrocotyle Japan. Now at the moment, the ramshorn snails have got to work on the leaves on this, so there's actually no leaves left on it. So I'm not going to plant that today because I'm going to let those leaves grow back. Now if you actually look very closely, you can see that the new growth is starting to come through. So if you've seen one of my recent videos about snails, I mentioned that with snails, they tend to only eat the dead parts of the plants. And I think this is evidence here because the actual stems of this tripetita are uneaten. They're not being eaten at all. And I can see that there is new growth starting to come through. So I'm pretty confident that the new growth will come back and then we'll get it planted. I'm not going to plant it now because it wouldn't be a very interesting video and we won't really get that final look. So I know that's going to come back, and when it does, we will get it planted. Obviously, when you buy aquatic plants from the shop and you move them into your tank, you can get a lot of melt, and I think that's what happened because there was tiny little pinholes in the leaves when I got it, so it didn't surprise me that the ramshorn snails have got to work on that. The Lobelia cardinalis, on the other hand, which is this pot here, the leaves on that are absolutely fine, so we can get that planted today, so that's no issue at all. So yeah, I'm just going to show you what plants I want to put in this tank, which I'm going to harvest them from one of my other tanks, and yeah, we'll get planted. So yeah, this is my better tank at the moment. So in the back here, we've got this Rotala Blood Red just here. So I'm going to take some of this out. So towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little update on this tank actually, because I've got some new ideas for this better. But yeah, we're just going to take some cuttings of this Rotala Blood Red here, and I think that'll look really nice in the other tank. Rotala Blood Red just there. So I'll start putting these stems together. What I like to do is plant these in a big bunch. I just find it easier that way.
So get these together. It's always good to have you know, different tanks that you can take things from. You don't always have to keep going out and buying new plants. You can just harvest it from other ones, which is really, really cool. So probably leave that one actually. It's a bit small, that piece. There we go. So that's a nice bunch of Rotala Blood Red there. So I'll leave that there. Get that planted together. So here is our Lobelia cardinalis. So we're just going to prepare this. So if we just squeeze the pot together, it should just slide out, hopefully. There we go. And then what we need to do is just gently break the rock wool apart. Trying not to damage the roots as we go. So what some people like to do with this, just to get the excess off, is to use a fork. I just use a pair of tweezers to do that. And just use the tweezers just to get the excess off. So if we just start separating this, we'll be able to see how many plants we've got. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So you get quite a lot out of one pot really. There's 5, there's 6, and I think that's probably 1. Yep, so 7 portions out of one pot really. That's good value. Some snails there, smooth them to the side. So there we go. So we can go and get that planted in our tank now. As you can see there, we've planted all of the Lobelia cardinalis and the Rotala Blood Red in that corner, which will just give that a nice pop of colour. As you can see, when that starts to fill in, we can trim that and replant it. It should look really good. So we have another little bit of an issue just here in this back section. So this is Rotala orange juice, and if you look closely, just zoom it a little bit, can you see there that the growth where I've cut it, it seems to have lost all of its leaves. Now, I think it's because it's not getting enough light, but as you can see there, we've only got leaves on the top section. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up removing that, to be honest, and we're probably going to be using some cuttings from the Lobelia cardinalis, which we just planted over here in that back corner. When that gets a bit bigger, probably going to use some cuttings there and put them over here to replace this orange juice. If not, what I might do is I might just remove it all and just use that Hygger siamensis 53B, which is that lovely sort of dense plant at the back there, and I might just use that to fill in this section instead of having that Rotala orange juice. So let me know in the comments, do you think I should do that, or do you think I should try and save the orange juice? Sounds funny, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't have issues growing Rotala rotundifolia, and indeed the blood red, which is just planted over there. But for some reason this orange juice has been a bit of a problem. Yeah, so I have grown some in my Tetra tank there. This one here, just to try and grow it out, and it seems to be doing the same there. So I think it is struggling. Maybe it would benefit from CO2 perhaps. As you can see, even lower down there, the leaves are very, very small. So I do think it's struggling, so I'll probably just be removing that, to be honest. Yeah, I think we'll take that out. I think we'll use that Hygger Siamensis 53B just to pack up that corner there, and that should look really good. Can't wait to see the Rotala blood red growing as well in that corner. I think that'll look really nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's looking at the moment. As I say, I have got some more planting to do. I want to wait for this Tripotita to grow back a little bit before I plant that, so we'll probably do that in another video. As those plants have come out of they've come out of an established tank, but I just want to add in some plant fertiliser just to give them a little bit of a boost. So I'm just using the API Leaf Zone. Not sponsored video, obviously, but I do like to use this one. It's quite good. The other one would be the Easy Life Pro Phyto, but I find that you can get a few algae problems with that. Especially with my tanks, I tend to overstock them quite a bit. And I believe, and this is what I'm led to believe, is that this provides, I think it's iron and potassium. Yeah, so this one provides iron and potassium. The idea being that if you've got an overstocked tank or a heavily stocked tank, there should be enough nutrients in there from the fish poo and the fish food and things like that to feed those plants. So this should just boost the iron and potassium levels. The other fertiliser, the Easy Life Pro Phyto, is more of an all-in-one fertiliser. So it contains a lot of different sort of nutrients and things which should already be present in your aquarium in good amounts. What you'll notice in a lot of high-tech tanks is they have a low stocking level. So I think that lends itself to needing more nutrients. I'm not saying all of the nutrients in the tank can come from the fish. You do need to still use liquid fertiliser. But I think for mostly for what I'm doing, this leaf zone is going to be fine. So what are we on? So 5 mil per, yeah, so 5 mil per 10 gallons. This is a 20 gallon tank, so we're going to go for 10 mil. I'll just drop that in there. That should give the plants a nice little boost and help them on the way. So yeah, like I say, I'll bring you back in a couple of days, see how those plants are going. Hopefully they're all starting to stand up. We may add some root tabs as well, actually. So again, the soil and everything that I've put in this aquarium, I haven't done anything to it for a couple of months. It is sort of fine gravel, so a lot of the waste and everything and mulm does work its way down. But even so, it's still good to boost that substrate layer now and again. So I may add some root tabs. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, see you in a couple of days. So we left it a couple of days and yeah, everything's looking good. I've decided to leave the Rotala orange juice for the time being. I'll probably take that out and replace it with some of the Hygger Siamensis 53B as soon as, you know, it's grown a bit more and we've got some cut-ins. But what I do want to do today is I want to just upgrade this light. So the light that's on this tank at the moment is an All Pond Solutions PLED. I think it's a 510. It's a budget light which you can buy off Amazon. The links are all in the description. Now, it's been a very good light. It's grown these plants extremely well, and for a budget light, it is brilliant. So I think this is a 24 watt light, and it's 7,500 kelvins, but it's just white LEDs. I think there are a few sort of blue LEDs on there. But that's it really. And as I say, it's been a very good light. I have no complaints with it really. It has no bells and whistles really. It is literally just a bog standard light with a switch. You can attach it to a smart plug, which is what I've done. Hygger have very kindly sent me a Hygger, this is the HG075 24 inch LED light. This is a full spectrum light, which is going to enhance the colours of the fish. It's going to enhance the colours of the plants. So you get a 1-year warranty with this. So this is a 26 watt version. It's 1,355 lumens. And yeah, it's for 60 to 75 centimetre tank. So Hygger very kindly sent me this as a sponsored product. I'm not going to mess around unboxing it and doing all that stuff.
I'm going to get it on the tank, and then we'll go through some of the features, and hopefully we can sort of just lift this whole look of this aquarium really. If you're interested in buying this Hygger light for yourself, and you like the features and everything that it's got, then check out the description, all the links will be in there. If you're a new customer and you're in the US, you can get 10% off your first order on the Hygger website. Alternatively, they are available on Amazon if you're in the UK or in the EU, and I'll also leave those links in the description for you as well. Okay, so that's the new light fitted. So that's the Hygger light fitted there, the full spectrum light. You can just see the reflection there of all of the LEDs. So first thoughts are definitely the colours are definitely better, 100% better. If I look at the colours of the fish, it's definitely picking up better colours in the fish. There's no doubt about that. Especially over this side as well, where we've planted that Rotala Blood Red. As you can see, everything does look better. There's no question about that. The colours are miles better. The only thing I've noticed, and you'll have to let me know in the comments why this might be. So this is a full spectrum LED light, and it doesn't seem as bright as the one I've just taken off, which I don't understand, because it's more wattage, it's a 26 watt light, but it doesn't seem as bright. So I don't know why that is. I say it's not a problem. I can see the colours are a lot better and a lot nicer in the fish and in the plants. So, you know, I'm satisfied with that, but I'm not really sure why it's not as bright when it's a more powerful light, really. So, yeah, let me know in the comments why that might be. But yeah, this is not just a simple case of it's a full LED, a full RGB light. There are also extra features which you get with this Hygger light. So, the options you have here is you have this max setting at the top, which puts it on full brightness, which is what we're on at the moment. You've also got this timer, so you can set that to 6 hours, 10 hours or 12 hours. So if I set it to 6 hours, which is that one now, as you can see, that's going to start ramping up the light a bit at a time. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, it might compensate for it, but yeah, that's going to bring the light up gradually to full brightness. So that's full brightness there. You've also got this cycle feature, which I think will just cycle through all the different colours, which I won't be using. It's not for me. And one of the features which I really like about these Hygger lights is you get this 24/7 option, where if you press this button, it's going to go through a cycle, so from 12 o'clock right through to 12 o'clock the next day, and it's got to mimic sunrise, sunset, all that kind of thing. Personally, for me, I wouldn't be using this because I think that 6 hours of light is plenty for a planted tank. That's just in my experience. You might feel that's different for you, and that's absolutely fine. Down here, you've also got a choice of colours, so you can switch between all the different individual colours. Again, we won't be using that because that's not really the thing I'm going for. But if I wanted to press that, as you can see, we can go through all the different colour settings. And then if we want to go back to the max setting, we just press the max button. So there we go, that's on the max setting. So we've also got brightness setting just down here. So you can go 100% brightness, and you can go all the way through to, I think, as low as 10% if you want to. So that's 10% there. And you can go all the way up to 100%, which is what we'll be leaving ours on. So yeah, as I say, with these Hygger lights, you get a lot of features in that little controller there. At the moment, this is flashing because I've got it on the 6 hour timer. What I'll need to do, apparently what you can do is you can choose the 24/7 option here and get it to the I'll try with some words. You can get it to the time that it currently is, and then you can switch it back to the 6 hour mode. and that'll recognize what time of the day it currently is. What I'm probably going to do, just because it's the way I like to do it with these lights when I've used them before, is I will wait until it's time for me to set the light. So this will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. and I'll press on the timer to set it to 6 hours. That would be what I would do. But you can do it through this 24/7 option if you prefer. So yeah, very, very happy with that actually. Thank you again to Hygger. As I say, I really want to know why it doesn't seem as bright as the other one. There's a possibility it's because the light doesn't sit as high as the other one did, so maybe it's just a bit of an illusion that makes me think it's not as bright. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that is our new Hygger aquarium light. As I say, it's hard really on the camera to pick up the difference that it's made, but definitely the colours are a lot richer on the fish especially, and definitely on the plants. So it's hard to see at the moment because all the fish are sort of gathered around here because they're not very happy with me that I've been messing around. So yeah, we're going to leave these guys alone for now. But as I say, very happy with that. Just curious really as to what I've missed, why it doesn't seem as bright. As I said before, maybe it's just that the other light sat a little bit higher, so it just gave that impression that it was brighter, and it actually wasn't. What I wanted to discuss actually is I've got a couple of projects lined up, which I think you'll be very excited for. I'm certainly excited for them. So I'll just take you in the other room and I'll show you what I've got planned. Okay, so I've got a couple of things planned for here. So at the moment, this is my daughter's aquarium, which has got corydoras, red cherry shrimp, endlers and celestial pearl danios in at the moment. As you can see, there's a lot of green sort of mossy algae on this wood here. The shrimp absolutely love it, but it's causing me a bit of a maintenance nightmare. So the quick thing is I'm going to be stripping this tank down. So the endlers and the celestial pearl danios are going to go in with the rasboras that you've just seen in the other tank. The corydoras are going to be coming back in here, and I'm going to be putting them in this little holding tank here. So that's going to be rescaped. I'm thinking a blackwater sort of style tank, not a full blackwater, but definitely a blackwater inspired tank for there. So we're going to be scaping that shortly. So the betta over here, I've had him for nearly a year now. He's going to be coming out of there and going into that other tank, which is bigger for him. So he's going to be in there with the cherry shrimp, which he's used to living with. As you can see them all down the bottom there. So he'll be coming out and going in the other tank along with the corydoras. So that'll be his new home. This tank will be going into storage. I've got no plans to use it for the time being. And that leaves this space here. So this stand, I'm going to get rid of that stand. I bought that, it's actually an Eheim AquaCab 126 stand. I bought that off Facebook Marketplace just to give me something to put a tank on, but I've never really liked it. So my plan is that once that's out of the way, I've got a nice space there, which is about, I want to say it's about 80 centimetre space there. So I've got plans to put another tank there. Now, I'm not really sure which tank yet. I may get another superfish, so this is a Scaper 45. Might get a Scaper 140, which with the same colour cabinet to go there. Or I might get something else for there. One thing I've decided is I definitely want something with an external filter. So that is the plan. So yeah, so as I say, we're going to be rescaping this tank first. And then once we've done that one, and this one's out of the way, we're going to be buying something new for there. I'm going to be doing a nice big scape there. Probably the biggest tank I've got in the house actually. I don't know which fish. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. But there are a couple of fish which I kept back when I first started keeping fish that I'd like to try again. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like the video, and yeah, we'll have these tanks rescaped soon. So thank you for watching everybody, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.